Jared Jones's second rehab assignment wasn't quite as sharp as his first, but you know what? He showed the power stuff. He got through it healthy, and he is getting a little closer back to Pittsburgh. For what role yet, we don't know for sure. Good morning, and welcome to OffBeat here on North Shore 9, presented by FanDuel. My name is Alex Stumpf. This is a daily look at your Pittsburgh Pirates. Jared Jones had his second rehab assignment in Indianapolis on Wednesday. Wasn't that hot. 5 hits allowed, a walk, one earned run over 3 innings. From a box score standpoint, it wasn't pretty, but he was flashing the 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Like his first 5 pitches were all like 99.5 to 100.1. Like it held early. It held pretty well in the later innings. Um, we saw some more sliders. We saw some more changeups. We saw something a little more akin to the type of pitch mix that we would normally see from Jared Jones in Pittsburgh, while still working on the curveball, while still working on the sinker that he was going to debut in 2025 before the elbow injury. Um, Long list. It's a rehab start. He's not going to go out there and he's not going to throw 3 immaculate innings. It's facing still a higher level of quality talent, and he gave up some hard contact. Some of that hard contact was with tertiary stuff, but is what it is. Okay, big headline here. He got through it, and he's one step closer to Pittsburgh. And I have maintained this entire time that I believe Jared Jones should return to the rotation. And we haven't heard a firm commitment that that's what's going to happen. There is the theoretical chance that he will start in the bullpen because nobody will just explicitly say, no, he's going to be a starting pitcher whenever he comes back. Ben Cherington talked in April about how they would keep him on some sort of regular rest schedule, which I think is smart to say the least, for someone who's rehabbing, coming back from an arm injury, keeping him on a schedule that he is used to. Okay, that's good. But I get why people have asked about the bullpen. And it really is the stuff. It's the stuff and that 100-mile-per-hour fastball that Mitch Keller once described to me as an FU fastball. And it's a great way to describe it. It's attacking, it's rising, it's spinning, it's coming in hot as hell. It is a really good pitch. I really like the slider. The slider is a pitch that has some downward bite. I have seen him pitch games where that was his primary pitch. He didn't really have the fastball, so he went in with the slider. It is a nasty pitch by itself. That 2-pitch sequence, I get why a lot of people see that and they think closer. And I get why a lot of people see that sequence without like a real third pitch and they think closer. I don't see that being realistic right now. So we're going to just look at 2 potential outcomes here for Jared Jones. Not to say that this is explicitly how it's going to go down, but we're going to look at 2 possible ways that this 2026 season turns out. And one is the return of Jared Jones, which would be he would be eligible to come off towards the end of May, 60 days after opening day. Not 60 days from whenever he was added to the 60-day IL. So people clamoring for him to, bring him up. He's ready. Can't do it yet. Can't do it until late May. And unless the Pirates get an extension, he would have to finish his rehab assignment by late May. Pirates, if they were to ask for an extension, I am sure they would get it, which would buy him a little more time to start in the minors. There's still ways to go in the rehab process, but that's just speculating. But, a very soft date, I am personally eyeballing late May as the return of Jared Jones. If he is a reliever, I'm just going to entertain this for a little bit because I made my stance heard already, and it's going to be after the commercial break. I'm going to give the pro starter here, but I'm going to start with the pro bullpen route here. He cannot go in and immediately pitch like back to back days. He has never done that before as a pro. And to do that whenever he is coming back from elbow surgery, whenever he has been rehabbing as a starting pitcher, that's just courting disaster for many reasons. The most obvious being the risk of injury. The second obvious being he is completely out of his element. This is a completely new environment for him to do. So if you think, yeah, just put him in the bullpen, he's going to be like a regular reliever. He's not. He's just not. I can look at pitchers who have made the jump to the bullpen from the starting rotation. Like, look at Braxton Ashcraft. Look how he was used. He started off, his outings were multi-inning. There were days between. It was a way for him to transition from being in the rotation in the minor leagues to the major league bullpen. It was a long process, and it really wasn't until July that he started to look like, a real reliever. Like, it was like 2 months, which was about whenever he started, getting some more time as a starting pitcher, and, he went on to the next challenge. So it's like, okay, 2 months of gradual buildup, of the outings going a little shorter each time, and maybe a little less time between starts or between outings. I'm sorry, reliever in this outcome. That would put him at like late July, early August is whenever you could kind of view him as a reliever. And I'm using the Braxton Ashcraft model in 2025. Rowanzi Contreras and Luis Ortiz in 2024 were kind of similar the same way that it wasn't until May that Derek Shelton felt comfortable using them on like back-to-back days or anything like that. And even then, he really tried to stay away. I get that's a different, regime, but a different pitching coach, but we could use that as a reference point. It would take a while for Jared Jones to adjust to that role. And that is assuming that it goes well. Like it went well for Braxton Ashcraft. And then it went so well for Braxton Ashcraft that he just went back into a rotation. That's what's kind of getting me here. Is by the time he is kind of like a real reliever in my mind, and he could be potentially making impacts at the back end of games, I'm looking late July, early August. Do you know what else is happening in late July, early August? The trade deadline, which if the Pirates are competitive, they need to buy, and bullpen would be a really easy thing to buy, especially since I don't think they need a closer. They just need sixth, seventh inning guys. Those guys are attainable. So you could either acquire a veteran who has done this role, or you can throw potentially one of your best starting pitchers in that role and hoping that that the stuff that you see will apply, that he will be that good in that role immediately. I can hear the Jared Jones to the bullpen talk. I can't get on board really right now in the middle of the season, because there's going to be a transitionary period, and you are putting a player who has not been in this role, asking him to adjust differently. It's not just going to be managing innings in this case, it's going to be managing just workload and how often he goes out. And I think it's courting disaster to take it too seriously. I think the only way Jared Jones really works as a reliever is if he is the best case scenario in this for 2026, in my opinion, is he becomes Andrew Miller. And he goes and he gives you 6 big outs, but then he is just out of commission for a day or two. And maybe that's a little easier to swing whenever it's August and rosters are expanded, but for a good chunk of the year, I'm sorry, September, whenever rosters are expanded, can't talk anymore. but for the course of a regular season, it just doesn't sit right. I'll offer you the counter of this after this quick word from Cody.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack hydration sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way for you to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. The Ultimate Sampler Pack includes all 3. My personal favorites so far have been the almond butter chip and the iced tea lemonade hydration mix. It's just really full of flavor. I love starting my day with it, and I couldn't imagine starting my day with anything else other than IQ Bar products. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text MLB to 64,000. That's MLB 64000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
Now, let me offer you the starting pitching path. The one that we saw in 2024. The one where Jared Jones goes out and he shoves and he attacks with that fastball and that slider, and you know it's coming and you can't really hit it still. He'll mix in enough curveballs and changeups to get it and keep you honest, but I really like that sinker. I really like that sinker, and I was excited to see it in 2025 because I didn't think he had that quick out weapon in 2024. That whenever he just it's not all there and he needs quick outs and he needs to get the pitch count under control, even out so he could go 5 or 6 innings, just pitch to contact and hope that the stuff that he has is good enough. It's still going to overpower. That, I think, is what makes the prospect of 2026 Jared Jones as a starter really interesting. Yeah, it's only another fastball. It doesn't really address the third pitch criticism all that well, but I think getting quick outs, getting a way to manage the game that way, I think that's more intriguing. Whenever Jared Jones comes back, if it's a piggyback situation with Carmen Mlodzinski for a little bit, I can hear that. You know, hedge your bet a little bit that you don't need another starting pitcher, that everything's fine with Jared. You give Carmen Mlodzinski a chance, one last chance, really, to prove, no, I am a starting pitcher in this rotation. Could go with that. Or you just give him the job. And this would probably be a little easier or harder to do if Mlodzinski wasn't on this stretch that he's on right now. Like, I know he struck out 10 his last time out, but he's given up a lot of runs. We've seen him regress a little bit to some of the issues we saw with 2025. Carmen Mlodzinski. It's a lot easier to make the case, in my opinion, to just put him in the starting rotation whenever you don't have a full 5 right now. And Carmen Mlodzinski has a really good track record out of the bullpen. I'm not ready to kick him out yet, but whatever Jared comes back, if I have to choose either the guy who has a really good track record out of the bullpen or the guy who could potentially be a great reliever out of the bullpen, but doesn't have, any experience doing so, and he's coming back from injury, I'm making the safer bet. I am making the safer play. Doesn't mean that Carmen Mlodzinski won't be a starter at some point in 2026 or beyond. Doesn't mean that Jared Jones couldn't go to the bullpen for a little bit, but I believe in meritocracy, and I think it'd be the best thing for Jared Jones's arm to keep him on a starter's rotation. You still have to manage innings. You still have to manage workload. That's a whole lot easier out of the rotation. The steps that would need to be taken for him to come out of the bullpen, he's not going to come in and immediately shove and be this 1 inning beast to just handle the eighth or ninth. It's not going to be like that, at least to start. And that transitionary time, I don't know if 2026 is the right call. Not whenever you could add relievers, impact relievers in other ways, not whenever you can manage your starting pitcher depth elsewhere. Thank you so much for listening to Offbeat here on North Shore 9, presented by FanDuel. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe wherever you find fine podcasts. And if you want to check us out on YouTube, you see my smiling face that way. Thank you so much for listening. We'll talk again tomorrow.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube. If you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.